All right, y'all, we are back and we are finally working on the Camaro. Yep, it is time to blow this thing, not to a million pieces, but to a few pieces. And here is why, y'all. The front end of this vehicle is literally held on by one bolt. And that one bolt has rust all the way around it, and I think there's about 2 or 3 pieces of rust holding that spot where that one bolt is. So yes, I have to change the core support in this vehicle, and I just about have to take the whole front end apart to get the core support off. So why not a couple more bolts and get the fenders off, take the engine out, separate engine, transmission, fix the clutch, paint everything, clean it up, make it look nice, clean up this whole area, a couple rust spots, put it all back together. I will probably see about fixing these parts of the doors that are growing stuff, you know. Get that mess out. Probably gonna pull the back glass out of it and fix spots like this. Fix that spot. And we know we want to fix this back here. We're probably gonna cut that off and scab in that piece from the green car. Also fix this spot over here. So not a whole lot of work. I'm not taking this thing down to bare metal and sending it off to be painted, and no, I'm not doing that. That takes way too much time. Just want to fix enough of it to make it look halfway decent, and you know, it makes good videos. Floors also need to be fixed, so we'll do that. But for starters, let's get the front end apart. Then we'll see about getting the engine out. All right. Oh, God, it's still heavy. Man, that hood is still heavy as crap. I didn't eat my Wheaties this morning. I really wasn't into all that. So, not a whole lot to do. Let me show y'all this core support. It is literally, I don't know if I articulated this to y'all. This baby's gone. There's almost nothing of it left. I mean, this has got to come off in a bad way. You'll see this is the other side. You'll see the bolt. I think there's one little piece of metal holding it on. The subframe is only held in by 4 decent sized bolts way back here. That's a lot of leverage on these front tires pulling that up. So these fenders, the core support, everything plays into how the front end of these vehicles work. So without these fenders, without a good core support, the front subframe tends to want to do like this and taco, and it's not real good for the car. So it's kind of important to have all this stuff in working order. And this one doesn't even exist anymore. So let's get some wrenches, blow it apart. All right, so the first thing, second thing, third thing, I don't know, I don't know what number. We're gonna take the wheels off of it, get them out of the way. Whenever we get to it, we're gonna have to take this inner fender out. These bumper extensions, graphics, whatever you want to call them. So while we're here, we might as well knock out all these bolts in this inner fender just to make it a little bit easier to come out. Here's my super secret technical advice to getting these cars back together after you blow them to a million pieces. Bag and tag the bolts, y'all. Don't throw them in a giant coffee can, and whenever it gets to the point of you putting it back together, dump the coffee can out onto the ground and start take it out. Oh, that don't fit, that's too long. Just mark them. These Ziploc bags that come from Dollar General for just a few dollars, they save you a lot of heartache in the future. So I'm gonna PB blast these. See about getting them out. They're pretty rusty. Hopefully they all come out, but I I guarantee you we're gonna break a few bolts today. That's fine. Oh, there's one. There's two. Hey, doing pretty good so far. See, just like that. Majority of them are out. And look. Put this in a safe place, we'll know where it goes. And surprisingly, except for the ends are a little bit rusted, they're not too bad. Clean these up on a wire wheel. We're gonna reuse them. So now let's go ahead and get this radiator out of here. Got that old concrete mixing pan down there. They make great catch pans. Perfect. I only spilled
Papa, what is that?
half a gallon.
Papa, what is that?
That's water, basically, son. We got the radiator running with my two self-tappers. And we'll get this radiator out of here. And we'll let it drain a little bit more. Radiator pulled out of here. Save it for another day. So the next step is we got to get these headlight buckets out, and I'm gonna do what I normally do and write a bag, call it headlight buckets. Now the bolts here are T1000s for Terminators. They're really T15s, but we'll call them T1000s. The reason we took the headlight buckets out is to get the front bumper off. There's 3 bolts, like right here, and right here. You got to take out, and the headlight bucket covers all of that. I put PB Blaster on the back side of them, so surprisingly it's coming out pretty good. Dirt dogger's nest out of the golly.
That massive dirt dogger, Cassie?
Yep, it's coming out. Alright, now we can see the bolt. It's not very tight. Almost like this has been off before. I'm thinking this thing might have been in a front end collision. The grill insert should say Z28. I mean, I know it's a Z28 by the codes and everything, the VIN number, but it's not very tight. Those 3 out. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Not gonna bore you to death with it. I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll start taking some other bolts off so we can get this bumper off. So next on the list is, I don't know, they're like stabilizer bars for the bumper. We got to get them off. 3/4 socket and a big impact. Bolt's pretty rusted, but we're more than likely just going to clean it up and reuse it. Put that in our bag. Get another one on the other side. Yeah, she's not in great shape. Probably going to be looking for a replacement bolt for this one. Hopefully the threads are all right. We'll see once we get all this mess off. So the next bolts we got on, we're going to take off. You can't see them, you just got to know they're there. 2 bolts, right there and right there. I've already done the other side. You got to get them off. They got to come off. If you don't get them off, you're not getting the bumper off, and you can wind up breaking fiberglass. So it's best to take them off now, and then we're probably gonna have to cut the rest of them because I've already been looking at it's bad. Well, I guess they had a battery meltdown in this thing and it rusted everything on the passenger side. So let me get these off and we'll move on. So I'm just, instead of just taking stuff off of this bumper, I'm extremely surprised this bolt is turning as easy as it is. Look at that one. I think I'm just gonna put my big 1/2 inch impact on that one and see if it'll just break. This front horn right here, it's not in great shape. I'm gonna whenever we get it all apart, we'll assess what we need to do. We might be patching in some metal from here, or if it's too bad, I will take the whole front subframe out of that green Camaro and put it on this one. So we'll see. We'll figure out once we can assess. On kill mode, let's see what happens. Holy crap, I do believe it come out. Somehow that nut come off of that. I was not expecting that to happen at all. Get out of the socket. There she is. It's hot. Extremely surprised that come off, but works for me. Let's get my little brass hammer and knock them studs through so we can get this bumper off here in a little bit. Got that back one out, and we got that one out. Right into a coolant bucket, perfect. With my PV blaster. This is not in bad shape. Clean it up, we'll reuse that. Now comes the violence part. Couple more bolts and this baby's gonna fall right out of here. See it? See? Look at all that rust. We finally made it. We're to the point where we can take the bumper off, and then everything else has got to come off. Was there anything else holding us? All I'm doing is just hammering where the bumper brackets go around the horns. Get them loose, and then we can wiggle it the rest. It's usually a little bit more attached. She is finally free. I mean, it wasn't horrible, it's just, God. The more I dive into this car, the worse it gets. I got one of the support brackets for the course poured out. No dramas. Didn't figure I'd show it to you. This one is a little bit more rusted, so we're gonna see. Well, surprise, surprise. Come right out. There ain't a whole lot of it left. See, I'll give me just a minute here. I'm gonna blow all of these bolts out. I got the two big support bolts out. And one more right here where somebody had started taking this fender off originally. I'm gonna blow all of them away. You don't need to see it, it's just me with a wrench. And I'm gonna get this course poured out and we're gonna talk a little bit. Come on. I can't see the screw to get it out. There we go. Just like that. I'm gonna put this in a very special place. Yeah, we're not keeping a charcoal canister. Serves no purpose for us, it's just in the way, clutters up the engine bay. There's gonna be a few more pieces of this car making on that trailer before it's all said and done, but let's just keep rolling. Well, wasn't gonna video this coming off, but it decided to fall off on its own when camera wasn't ready, so I apologize for that. But it is what it is. I have sustained an injury. Caught my thumb on a really rusted piece of metal, so if you see me over here in the floor just kicking, don't worry, it's just tetanus. No, I went inside and cleaned it up real quick, put some alcohol on it. So this is the course port for the Camaro. And as you can tell, it was not doing anything anymore. I don't know what happened here, why this is smoothed down. It's not good. There's some thin spots in the subframe. Most of that is solid. We're gonna think on that. This side's good, you know. I mean, it's got a little bit of rust on it, but what happened to this side is, you see those compact crap in here? That sat in there and that rusted all that out. Oh, doesn't look horrible. I halfway expected all of this. We get the engine out, you know, we'll be able to inspect a little bit more. So while we're here, you know, we're real close. Knock the fenders off. Yeah, that's where that goes. Trash. Pretty sure this fender is held on by this one bolt that I threw in here. Threw this bolt in here, I think. I don't know. Whenever, right before I did the Willitrun, you know, just to keep it from falling off. Hey, this is the only one holding it on. The other side, it's got shims and all kinds of other crap holding it on. So it'll be a little bit more of a fight, but not too bad, you know. Once you get the core supports and the bumpers off of these cars, the rest just kind of falls off. And I mean, there is a way that you can take the whole front clips off in one piece. You just got to have two people. Yeah, it's just me, so that's out. I got to work a little bit more. Yeah, all right. There we go. I think for now we're gonna set this right over here in the grass. Good spot. Another rust spot for these cars is right here. That looks good. Now the rocker, damn it. The rocker does not look great. I mean, could we probably some way fix that up? Yeah, we could probably throw something in there and make it look halfway decent. Not going for perfect here, just halfway decent. It's not, it's looking okay. There's some, this area right here, a couple of the bad spots. I think we can fix that. And if not, we'll just beef it up just a little bit. Call it good. I mean, let's face it. I'm not to the point where I don't want to freaking numbers matching. I don't want to show up to the dadgum car meets with my New Balances on, you know, socks pulled up to my neck, put a plaque out front of it, numbers matching Z28. No, that ain't me. Y'all know me. Y'all seen me do this long enough. The ones of you that have watched for a while, y'all know me. I don't care. As long as it looks halfway decent, it's good with me. Ow. There's some shims right here. Y'all can't see nothing. Why y'all not paying attention? There's some shims right here we need to keep track of. That sets the height of the fender. We need to keep track of those. Open up the door. We're gonna get this bolt off and then we'll get the one underneath. I'm not gonna show y'all that, just know that they're there. What are you doing, Levi? I see you. So yeah, this is what happened to this fender. Rust hole. Rust hole right there where that support is, and that dirt just sat in there for all those years. Getting wet and never could get out. Created a rust spot right there in that fender. Not too bad, it can be fixed. All of this. Oh, that looks good. Front part of the rocker on this side looks a lot better than the other side. Oh, this looks good. Oh, that looks pretty good. All in all, all the firewall and everything looks good. So, I mean, it's got its problem, but it's a pretty good car. I don't see why it's not worth fixing. So I've gotten a little bit ahead of you. I mean, not much. Nothing you haven't seen before. Carburetor's undone, lift plates on, undid the alternator, undid the hoses going to the steering rack, the the return side. Well, it froze up, so gonna have to get a new fitting or whatever. They're pretty cheap. You can get them pretty cheap. I'm not too worried about it. That one was it was on its way out. Now, I mean, we're at motor mounts. I'm gonna try to undo the bolts for the donuts gaskets. I don't think they're gonna play nice, but I'm gonna try. And if anything, I'll get the Sawzall out and I'll cut them right out the header. And then Z-bar, drain the transmission, pull the drive shaft, yank. I know y'all can't see a whole lot, but just know, I always wished you could. Oh, look at that. That's one. That's two. Ah, my eyeball. That's three. So since we're under here, we're gonna go ahead and drain the transmission. Now, one thing I like to do is make sure you can undo the fill plug before you undo the drain plug. And it looks like she's got a good bit of crud on her. Hopefully that's normal wear. If not, we'll always wished it was. Let's see if it has anything in it. I never checked it, so honestly I don't know. She's got some. Not a lot. It's chunky and it stinks. So we know it had some in it, which is better than none. So we're gonna let this drain. I'm probably not gonna show you all this, but I'm gonna undo the transmission cross member bolts. It's just, guys, it's so hard to film undoing those bolts. And the transmission bolt right there, undo it. 2 bolts here, 2 bolts over there, and then the speedo cable, and then I'll be ready to yank. Well, I got a good portion done. I almost forgot I gotta undo all these linkages and whatnot for a manual transmission. Here I am thinking this is a turbo 350. I'm just gonna start undoing linkages and try not to mess it up. There's one. I got the Z-bar bracketry unbolted.
What?
Alright, so Z-bar is out.
What did you say?
Need to put that in place where I'm not going to lose it. It's pretty important. So, one of the things we're gonna have to do is we gotta either get this shifter. Oh, I found more rat turds. You either gotta get this shifter off or make it to where it can fall through the floor. I don't feel like messing around with rat turds right now, dang it. So crawled underneath just to see how this thing was held together, and I seen 4 screws poking through the floor. And I located them. They're just 4 Phillips head screws. So get these out. And I'm sure this is a trim ring, and then we can get the rubber piece off, and then maybe we can get at the handle. I kind of didn't video a part. I guess I should have videoed, but I got this off. Now I'm gonna tell you how I got it off. I didn't see any bolts or anything like that, so I just sprayed it with PB Blaster, and then just pulled on it really hard and wiggled, and then pulled, and then wiggled, and then it come out. So if any of you out there need to remove a 1980 whatever Camaro shifter knob lever thing, just pull on it, you know. Yep, I got one strap out. I'm at the part of the program where I need somebody in the car to take it out of first gear, and I just pulled the lever out of it to roll the transmission around. Hey, somebody, anybody out there? No, it's just me. Help me. Emily. Levi. It's just me. So I'll be back. Let me climb out, put the freaking transmission in first gear, roll this around, go back out. Well, put it in neutral, roll it around, back out, first gear again to hold it, and then undo it. Drive shaft is out. I had to beat on it a little bit and then work on it with that massive screwdriver, and she pulled right out. So come on, come on. Oh yeah. It's out. Now to do the transmission cross member bolts. Transmission up, cross member out. Crane's in the shop. Dang it. We have lift off. Yep. Oh, motor speed. All right. Go up just a touch more. That can live right there for a little while. Now drop it down just a little bit, not too much. I've got the crane hooked up. Both motor mounts are out. They actually pulled them right out. It wasn't bad at all. I went ahead and I did the extendo, permanent extendo kit on the crane not too long ago. So we're at the point now where let's just get the yanking. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What is it get up? I'm gonna lift it up. Papa, I got too heavy.
Watch out, son. You're gonna get oil on. We got all the youngins out here watching me pull engines. All right, back up, y'all. Back up. Watch out, everybody.
Boom, boom.
That old starter down there's catching. I got to come up just a little bit and we'll be scot-free. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. So far all I found is I've got one ground and there's one bell housing bolt. I'll show you. So I've got one ground here to the firewall. I'll probably knock it off right there. Let me see if I can. Nope, I can't pull them through. That starter's dragging just a touch. Right, we got the thumbnail pictures done. Need to come back just a little bit more. I got it resting on that starter because the shifter was starting to file up, so I just give one good yep. Yep. There we go. That is completely, for the most part, out. Set it over here in the floor. We're gonna call that good for one day. The file up just a little bit on the old shifter, but we got her out. Woo-wee! She fought me a little bit, but you know what? She's out. So tomorrow we're going to the creek with the family, and I'm gonna borrow the pressure washer back from my dad. Yeah, you heard that right, Steve. It's your pressure washer, and it's been here for forever, so I'm borrowing it back from you. Borrow that back from him, and I'm gonna go to town and I'm gonna clean up everything, including this, before it makes its way into the shop. So y'all tune in for next weekend. It's gonna be a cleaning masquerade. I mean, I'm just gonna be cleaning everything, and then we're gonna start doing a little bit more assessing, probably get the back bumper off. So I'll see you next weekend. Appreciate you watching. Peace.